Alexander Calabresi, Men in Red 97.
Hey, Coach. How are you today?
It looks good. Trying to stay warm. How are you?
I am good. So my first question is just first of all, do we have any updates yet on Andrew Gutman working his way back, and also Chase Gasper, who went down injured in the last?
No, I think Chase start later first with Chase. He's doing MRI today, but I mean he's going to be out, obviously out for a while. How long? We'll see. I think we'll get a better idea after the MRI today. And with Andrew, he's getting closer. We'll see how it goes the next couple of days for this week. If not, I think it's very close. If not this game, I think then maybe with Houston at home, we should have him ready to go. But we're taking it day to day with him.
And then just as a follow-up, we saw Jonathan Dean start the last game at left back, maybe also Kellen Acosta potentially an option there. How do you feel about that position if Gutman isn't ready to start?
Who else you said?
Kellen?
Acosta left back?
That's where he started at Dallas.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Maybe that's when he started. That's like saying like when Shaqiri started his career and he played left back in Basel. So yeah. No, yeah, I thought look, I think there's two things. I think without the ball, I think on the defensive side, I think with Johnny coming in, I think he did an excellent job. I think from that standpoint. I think there are moments when he got forward, and I know it's more on his weaker foot and stuff like that. He got in some good spots, and I just thought his ability just with final crosses and stuff like that it needs to improve, but obviously becomes more difficult on that side for him on his left foot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Joe Chats from OnTap Sportsnet.
Thanks, E. Thanks, Frank. How are you doing today?
Hey, good, Joe. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, thanks. Frank, one thing I wanted to ask you about, Yurios Koutsias had a really nice opportunity after generating that steal in New England's half. And I think we could all agree there left something to be desired with his shot. Those are the chances that you love as a striker. I'm just curious, as he's a young player, how do you make sure that he takes that as something to build on rather than to dwell on negatively, because we're all competitors. Those are the opportunities you dream of.
Yeah, no, I think Kutsi, he's always a striker that's looking for the next opportunity and chance. I don't think he overthinks stuff like that. I think that's a really strong point about him and being so young. I just think his mentality and his ability to move on and just right away, just he's looking for the ball again to put himself in that spot. And I think that's for a striker, I think that's a really good mentality to have. I mean, on that play, he makes a really great effort to close the goalkeeper down, and he goes down, and then look, he's got the defender on him, like that puts some pressure on him. I think that he tried to pick that corner. The goalie made a good save, but just to hold his ability just to put that the energy and the pressure to close the goalkeeper down and create an opportunity really out of nothing is good. But I don't think he's the guy that really dwells too much on it. He's really a guy that moves on, and as a forward, he's the one guy that if he misses 5 chances, he always wants the next one because he believes that the next one will be in the back of the net.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. Now we'll go to Brian Sandalo from the Chicago Sun-Times.
Thanks, E, and hi, Frank. Happy opening day, Eve. Hope all is well with you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, no more questions for the Bears, huh?
No, we're good there.
Okay.
Nothing on that. Not related at all, actually. You guys are playing in Atlanta this weekend, back-to-back games on turf, which actually I believe is the first time in 4 years you guys have played back-to-back regular season games on turf. How do you prepare for that change? And are there any sort of things that you adjust with your lineup or player usage because of the turf variable?
No, I mean, obviously you just have to see how guys recover. I think for us, we trained. I think that first of all, they're both, I think even going in New England, this past game in Boston, I think they had new turf. So with the rain and stuff like that, I think that the guys were really happy with the surface. I think even in Atlanta, I think it's a first-class stadium. The turf is excellent to play on. But I mean, other than, you know, just the recovery, and if there's no issues with guys coming out of the last game, and that's the most important thing. I think we have enough time to recover, and you know, we train on grass. I'm not the kind of guy that believes that, you know, training on turf whole week. I think that's something that the players don't really like. They want to be a natural grass, and then just go on the day before the game and being ready to go. I think that two facilities with excellent, even though it's not it's grass. I think it's some of the best turf that you can find. So really, there's no issue other than, you know, just making sure that the guys recover well, and we have enough time to do so.
Does that affect at all, like your thinking with like Gutman or any other player might be coming back from something or as a knock, because the turf, I know it's better than, you know,
Yeah, I
40
think
years
with
ago,
guys like
but
that, or guys that might be carrying some stuff, I think, you know, I think there's a discussion to have with that, and also with the medical staff, for sure. But you know, once guys are released, I feel confident that if they're ready to go 100%, they're ready to go. I would be a little bit maybe more worried when you're outside in the last game where it's raining and now it becomes really fast, the turf, and you know, where guys are sliding, and maybe there's an issue with you know, your footage and stuff like that. But I think for us, I think when guys, you know, before they get released to be ready to go, I think they go through a certain, you know, process, and you know, they're full sprinting before they can integrate and get involved with the team. So once they're released 100%, then I feel they're good to go regardless of the surface.
awesome. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now checking in, Alex Campbell, CHDO, do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Frank. No, thanks as always for taking the time for us.
Thank you, Alex. Yes.
What I'm just wondering what kind of your takeaways were from the second half against New England. Obviously, you guys came out looking pretty strong. You kind of get a gut punch with the goal right before halftime. What did you like? What did you not like? What was kind of your general takeaway of what you were bringing into this week into training from what you saw in that second 45?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it was difficult giving up, you know, for us that goal right before the halftime, because it just changes a little bit of their mentality. But I felt that the guys came out because they went in, and now they had this belief, you know, after that goal to come out and you know, push the game. I still think, for me, I think there's two things. I think that you know, first of all, with the ball, there are moments where, you know, when we break lines and our ability to progress the ball, I think we get, you know, that we could be better, for sure. And we went over the video today. We had some good moments, but I think there are moments where we can, you know, look to play forward much quicker. The opportunities are there. And as a team, I think those are areas that we need to improve. Obviously, in the final third, ability to, you know, with that final pass, the final cross and stuff like that, and you know, just give ourselves an opportunity with the delivery to have a chance at goal. I think more runners to obviously get into the box, get into those areas, is things that we've been working on. It has improved. And on the other face, without the ball, just really, you know, staying more compact as a team. You know, when we do that, I think we're difficult to break through and difficult to play against. And then, you know, there are moments where we do get stretched. What are those moments? How can we improve? How can we move more together as a team and as a unit, and stay more compact? So that's what we're going to be focusing on this whole week. You know, we're playing a team that I think that it's a team that's going to look to build up play. They want to play through. Almada is a key player for them, but also if Giacomakis is back, his ability to stretch the field and stuff like that plays, you know, so we have to be alert. But I think with the ball, without the ball, the things that I touch upon, it's just things that we need to continue to improve as a team.
Thanks, Frank.
Great. And that's it for today. Thank you, Coach.
Thank
Really
you, guys. Take
appreciate it.
care.
And thank you, everyone. And we will be right back shortly with Fabian Herbert. ahead and get started. As a reminder, please use the raise hand icon if you have a question, and we'll start with Brian Sandalo from the Chicago Sun-Times.
Hey, Fabi, thanks for making some time this afternoon. We always appreciate it. Just wondering, you guys are playing on turf for the second straight game, and I think that's the first time in 4 years the Fire have done that. What kind of test is that for a soccer player's body to have to go possibly 180 minutes and 8 days on an artificial turf surface?
I mean, the teams that play, they do it week in, week out. So I don't think it's, I mean, I don't think it's too much of a load or too much of a difference, to be honest. Yes, it's a little bit different, but I think especially Atlanta and New England had a fairly new turf as well. I think the turf fields are pretty good these days, that they're not as hard and as bad as they used to be in the past. So I think on the body, it's an okay load, you know, but I don't think it's differs too much as if you were to play on grass for 180 minutes.
What's the worst turf field you ever played on? And what was that like?
There's been some bad ones in Germany back in the days. I mean, it feels like you're playing on concrete, you know, if they just built on top of a parking lot or whatever. You know, it's not great. It's just super hard and it doesn't really go deep, and then it's not great, but on your body especially. But when you're younger, you can still kind of manage it. But yeah, as you're getting older, as I am, it's not as nice.
Well, luckily, I guess it sounds like the turf fields are better now.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Joe Chats from On Tap Sportsnet.
Thanks, E. Thanks, Fabi. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Fabi, you get the captain's armband over the weekend. I'm just curious how that felt, how you felt you did as a leader on and off the pitch in preparation, and the emotions that go around with it, because you've been with this club for a while.
Yeah, that's true. I've been around quite a bit now. I mean, it felt good. It feels good to get the confidence from the coaching staff, you know, to lead the team. Obviously, the way for me, I didn't really do too much different. You know, I try to lead by example out on the field. You know, try to run and work hard every game, and try to play my game and try to direct the players. You know, certain ways when it's the pressing or when we do have the ball, you know, to find the gaps and find open passes. So in terms of preparation or you know, going about the game, I didn't really do too much different, but obviously it's an honor to be captain for this team, and you know, unfortunately we couldn't get the win, but it was all right.
Thank you, Fabi.
Thank you. Next, we'll go with Alex Calabrese, Men in Red 97.
Thanks, E. Hi, Fabi. Last game we saw you as a number 10. I know we've seen you in pretty much every position on the field except for center back and goalie. At this point in time, and I know we've asked this in the past, but at this point in time, what would you say is your best and favorite position?
Probably in the moment it's the 8, you know, where I can work both ways, you know, defensively, offensively, and I think as an 8 you have a little bit more space, you know, to operate. I'm a guy that obviously works hard defensively, but also likes to play and have the ball. And I think the 8 is a good position for me to represent that. You know, when I'm at the 10, I'm a little bit higher up the field, so you don't really go backwards as far, or don't defend as much. You try to press on the high line. But then when the ball is passed, you don't really come back too much. Yeah, I think the 8 I like the most at the moment. But again, if the coach needs me somewhere else, I'm always happy to help out and go about my business and try to help the team.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Hernan Espinosa from La Fiera Deportiva.
Can't hear anything.
Hernan, are you there? Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back to Hernan. Next, we'll go to Alex Campbell from CHGO.
Hey, Fabi, thanks for taking the time for us. Really appreciate it. Kind of continuing on that last question about playing as an eight. What you've mostly done that this season when you've been there playing next to Kellen Acosta so far. How does playing with Kellen make your job in that role easier? And how would you describe, just the experience of playing next to him in that pivot?
No, he's a great player. I think he's a guy that works hard both ways as well. But he's a guy that's really good and comfortable with the ball. He can get the first pass from the center backs, to help the team build up. And then my job is to then try to find the second ball, or when the ball goes vertical to the striker or to the 10, to come underneath and then help out. And I think Callan is a very experienced guy, super humble, and just class on the ball and defensively as well. He helps the team a lot. So I think he's a really good player, and I think we'll complement each other pretty well in that position, because he comes, like I said, he's the first man available, for the center backs to pass to, and I'm kind of then the second option once the ball goes up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll try Hernan again. Hernan, I see you that you're off mute, but we can't quite hear you. Sorry, still nothing. Okay, we'll go with back to Joe Chats.
Thanks, Z. Thanks again, Fabi. Fabi, you are one of the players who's, at least on pitch, it looks like has really started to connect well with Hugo. I'm curious how having that kind of goal scorer, clinical finisher is helping you, because you would have had a second assist already on the year if that one in Columbus, is 2 inches further to the right and doesn't bounce off the post. I'm just curious how that's been going into the goal you assisted him with this last weekend.
Yeah, we had a good, sort of a counter attack. It was a transition moment where Haile Selassie played me through, and I just saw him wide open in the box, and yeah, he had a clean finish, so that was good. I mean, he's a finisher. He has a good track record scoring goals, so I trust, and we as a team have to trust that he puts the ball in the back of the net, and I think he's starting to do that, which obviously helps us as a team, and hopefully he can score many more goals, and try to have a lot of those clean finishes, to get more wins and more points down the road.
Awesome. Thank you, Fabi. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fabi, for taking the time. We really appreciate it. And
Thanks.
thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.